David was able to get a job as a ferryman and made $45 a month. That was pretty good money back then, so we had a pretty good life, but it was a hard life out there in Kansas. And then in 1849, my son died of chest fever. In 1854, he died. And then my daughter died. Altogether, David and I had 8 children, not one. But my sister had also died, and so I took her 8-year-old son, Jimmy Annie, in 1860, I met John Sullivan. And John Sullivan was a widower. His wife had died. His children were nearly grown, and he asked me to marry him. So John and I were married in 1860. Still, we struggled on in Kansas. And then in 1865, John came to me and he said, "Margaret, we need to go back to Wyandot County." So we packed up everything once again, and we came here to Wyandot County. We were able to buy a little spot about 4 miles outside of town, and we built a log cabin there. It's just on the Sandusky River in the banks. John worked for some of the other farmers, but we were never able to save enough money to buy our own farm. Then in 1876, John died, and I was left alone once again. Jimmy was working on the freighters in the Great Lakes. He came to visit me sometimes. But then the ladies who were having babies, they needed help with their babies, because at that time the ladies would spend 10 days in bed after they had a baby. And so I started helping ladies with their families and their babies when they have a baby. And that's why people call me Mother Solomon. Well, I can remember the little church. By the way, John's funeral was in the church, and he was buried beside the church there at the cemetery. But then I watched as the church began to fall to pieces, and the roof caved in. It was so hard to watch a beautiful little church fall apart. And then a minister came to the Methodist church, and his name was N.B.C. Love. And he became interested in the mission, and he had the mission rebuilt. In 1889, they had a big celebration dedicating the newly rebuilt mission. I was the only Wyandot there. And they invited me to the podium and had me sing my favorite hymn, "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing." But later that year, I started to get sick. And Jimmy came to see me, and he was worried about me, but I told him it was going to be all right. You know, you don't want them to give up their life for you. So he went back to his job, but I wasn't all right. I got sicker and sicker, and well, Thomas Payman and his family took me in to try to nurse me and take care of me, but I continued to get weaker and sicker, and then in August of 1890, I died. It was a Sunday, but they had my funeral on Tuesday, and it rained that day, but the church was just full of people, and they buried me beside John behind the little church. So I'm just a spirit that has come to talk with you today. I hope you've enjoyed the story of my life.
Maybe what I could sing, I don't know.
Scared everybody away.
Kwe Amataru. Hello, my friends. I'm Squire Gray Eyes. We're gathered today to deliver our farewell as Wyandot people. What has led up to this day is a series of events. Our beloved Chief Tarhe, before he passed on, believed when he signed a treaty in 1795, the Treaty of Greenville, as you well remember, that the government, the great white man, would build a wall to protect us as Wyandot people, and that our children and their children and grandchildren would be protected here in Upper Sandusky. But it is not so. As we still grieve the death of our chief, Wyandot. If you remember, Wyandot and his family was camping after a successful hunting trip not far from here in the Black Swamp area. Just had finished a successful night of hunting, and they were setting up camp and they were eating dinner. And as they were finishing dinner that night, two white men came, and they were hungry and they were starved and they were cold. And Wyandot, being the good Christian man that he was and being the good chief that he was, he spread the blanket before them and brought them in and fed them and gave them a place to retire for the night. And as you remember, in the middle of the night, those two gentlemen, they beat Wyandot to death, and they beat his nephew. His niece made a run for the woods for safety, and they chased her down and delivered her the same fate. We sent our warriors, and they found these two white men, and they brought them to justice, to the jail. But the next day, they fled with help from others, and they were never brought to justice. And as we gathered our leaders together and our chiefs, we knew that it was no longer safe. We knew that our children and our grandchildren in the next 7 generations would no longer be protected. And so we've gathered today on July 12th, 1843, here at our beloved Mission Church to say our final farewells. My people, the time for our departure is at hand. Only a few words remain to be said today. Our entire nation has gathered here for farewell. We have this morning met together for the last time in our love feast. More than 200 have testified to the power of our great God, and Brother Wheeler has preached the funeral for our dead. Our John Stewart, our beloved Mononahue, and our recently murdered Wyandot, and our eloquent Between the Logs. They sleep the sleep of death, but the hope of immortality is strong within our breast. Our chiefs have committed to the care of our white brothers our temple to the Great Spirit, the graves of our ancestors. And while the Indian does not forget the pale-faced brother who came to him with the message from the Great Spirit and who loved him well and served him well, the white man's God has become the Indian's God. And with us go ever to our new home, our beloved shepherd, Brother Wheeler, and Sister Lucy Armstrong, the white bride. Surely, like the white-faced truth of all that she says, whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. And where thou diest, I will die, and there I will be buried. It remains only for me to say farewell, and yes, it indeed is farewell. No more shall we engage in the solemn feast or the feast of rejoicing, and no more shall Sandusky's plains and forest echo to the voice of song and praise. No more shall we assemble in our temple to sing the sacred songs and hear the story of the cross. Here our dead are buried. We have placed fresh leaves and flowers upon their graves for the last time. No longer shall we visit them, and soon they shall be forgotten. For the onward march of the strong white man, it will not turn aside for Indian graves. Farewell, farewell, Sandusky River. Farewell, farewell, our hunting grounds and our homes. and farewell to the stately trees and forest, and farewell to the wild creatures of the woods. Farewell to our white brothers and friends and neighbors. It is but a little time for us until we leave this earthly home for a better country, that of a heavenly, for we are here, for we are no continuing city, but we seek one that is to come, whose builder and maker is God. As we depart today, let us all remember the dying words of Brother Stewart. Be faithful. Be faithful. Thank you.
Is the gentleman here with the flute? Okay, I'd like you to meet Chief Billy Friend from Oklahoma. He's their head chief, and he's welcome to have pictures taken with you if you like. Otherwise, this concludes our tour, and I thank you so much for coming. And we have church here tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning with a light breakfast before at 7:30. So maybe you'll all come back, and Jeff will have it warm again for you too. Otherwise, thank you for coming, and you may go to your warm homes.